Hi, we are so glad that you're with us today. This is week 3 that we've been together, and I have loved getting to see the videos and the pictures that your parents have been sending. Y'all are awesome. These are definitely different times with not being able to go to school or church, but isn't it so neat that we can connect in this way? Really miss all of you, but I'm so glad that we're doing this. Now, if you remember, 3 weeks ago, we learned the story about the 12 spies. Do y'all remember that? And how some of them trusted God and some of them didn't trust God because they saw different things. They went to spy out Canaan and some saw giants, but some of them, they saw all of the good things in the land. Remember, that was 2, Joshua and Caleb. Now, we talked about how we need to put our faith and our trust in God. Even when things around us don't look so good, we can see all the great things that God has given us, like love and joy. We also learned a song. Do y'all remember this? Let's sing it this morning. I want to hear you really loud, all right? 12 spies went to spy on Canaan, 10 were bad and 2 were good. What'd they see when they spied on Canaan? 10 were bad and 2 were good. Some saw giants big and tall. Some saw grapes in clusters fall. Some saw God rules over all. 10 were bad and 2 were good. Y'all are getting so good at this. The 10 were bad and 2 were good. Improving every week. I cannot wait till we can do all this together in person. Now, we also learned a memory verse. Do you remember this? From 2 Timothy 1:7? Let's say it together. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and self-control. See, that's just such awesome that God is giving us power, love, self-control. These are the good things that we can hold on to right now. Now, last week, we learned more. You remember it was 3 days until Israel was going to get to go into the land that God had promised them. And Joshua sent out 2 spies to Jericho, and those 2 spies, they were trying to avoid getting caught, and there was a lady named Rahab who helped them. Do you remember? And God told Rahab to put a red rope out of her window, and that when he came and destroyed Jericho, she and her family would be saved. Do you remember this? It was a really, really neat story, and we're going to continue building off of that story today. But we learned a song last week, a song that we can hold in our heart and a song that we can sing all week long with a lot of joy. So let's sing it this morning like that. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are his, the valleys are his, the seas are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. Man, I love it. I hope y'all are singing it all week long and remembering that our trust and our love and our hope, it is in God. Now, we learned part 1 of a memory verse last week that we're going to learn part 2 today. But let's go over part 1. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Joshua 1:9. One more time, I want you to yell it. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Joshua 1:9. Good job. Man, I hope that you are reminded of this stuff all week long. That our joy and our hope and our love is all found in Jesus Christ. Now, let's go through our books of the Bible because we're going to be in Joshua again today in the Old Testament. But what is the first book? Genesis. Second book? Exodus. Third? Leviticus. Fourth? Numbers. Good job. The 5th book? Deuteronomy. And we're in the 6th book of Joshua. That's where our story continues. We started in chapter 2. We're building up to chapter 6. Now, let's get to our story today. I'm so excited about this story. There are just neat things in it. So get your listening ears on and let's get started. Now, Joshua had led all the people down to the banks of the Jordan River, but it was the flood season. You see, the banks of the Jordan River would be overflowing. And he had chosen 12 men, because God had told him to carry the Ark of the Covenant. Now remember, God chose 12 because one comes from each tribe of Israel. And in the Ark of the Covenant were the 10 Commandments. And they were to carry this to the edge of the river and then walk into the river. The moment the men's feet touched the river's edge, the waters parted. The 12 men with the Ark of the Covenant stood in the middle of the riverbed with all the Israelites crossed over on dry land. How cool! You see, we learn all the time about the Red Sea, but sometimes we forget this story, that God parted the Jordan River. When all of the people were across the river, God spoke to Joshua and told him to choose 12 more men and have them each take a large stone from the middle of the river and bring it to the bank of the river where the people crossed and put them in a pile. Okay, so again, these 12 stones are representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And Joshua explained, these stones will be a memorial so that in the future, when your kids ask what these stones mean, you can tell them about this amazing miracle. So he wanted all the tribes, all 12 of them, to remember this miracle of when they walked on dry land across the Jordan River towards the land of Canaan. You know, memorials, they do help us remember things. And I don't know if you know this, but we do a memorial every Sunday. Does anybody? Can you think of what it is? Do this in remembrance of me, we say a lot. Well, we are remembering the Lord Jesus Christ and his death, burial, and resurrection every Sunday when we take the Lord's Supper. You see, the bread represents his body and the drink represents his blood. So we do a memorial every Sunday. In this way, they also had a memorial where they wanted to remember the great things God had done for them. So when the men with the Ark of the Covenant crossed the river, the water flowed back again. So when they needed to cross, it was dry, but after they crossed, the water flowed just like normal. Joshua was leading the people toward Jericho when he was confronted by a man wielding a sword. "Are you a friend or an enemy?" Joshua asked. "Neither," answered the man. "I am the commander of the Lord's army." At this, Joshua fell on his knees to worship. The Lord said, "I want you to have your entire army march around the city every day for 6 days. 7 priests blowing horns and other priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant will lead the way. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times. Then the priest with the horns will give one long blast. At this point, have all the people shout. The walls will come down. And any silver and gold that you capture is to be put in the Lord's treasury." Man, this sounds really exciting. Let's see what happens. So the Israelites, they approached Jericho and they marched around the wall with the ark. The priests with horns were in the lead. The people were quiet. The sound of the horns was all that could be heard for 6 days as they marched around the city once a day. Rahab and her family waited patiently as they were gathered in her home, which was built right into the wall, the red rope hanging from her window to remind her of the promise that God was going to save her and her family. Then, on the 7th day, they marched around the wall 7 times. The priests gave a loud, long blast in their horns, and all the Israelites gave a mighty shout. And the wall that surrounded the city came crashing down, all except the section where Rahab and her family lived. All the Israelites invaded the city. Joshua told the 2 spies to go and bring Rahab and her family to safety. The 2 men brought Rahab out, and she went to live safely in the Israelite camp. Rahab could not have imagined that one day one of her descendants would be King David, and another in her family line would be Joseph, who married Mary, the mother of Jesus. Wow, we serve such an awesome God. Did y'all know that he did all of these things? That he gave this land of Canaan to the Israelites, that he saved Rahab and her family, and even more than all of that, Rahab is who, through her, we get King David, and eventually we get Jesus. Man, the Bible is so cool. All right, let's learn our new memory verse, putting part 1 that we learned last week together with part 2. I want to hear y'all be really loud. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Man, hold that. Take that thought. Hold it in your heart all week long. The Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That is so awesome. All right. We're going to learn a song. You may know it, you may not, but we're also going to add some motions with it. So let me go ahead and tell you what they are. When we sing Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho, we're going to fight a battle, okay? Get your hands up. When the walls come tumbling down, we're going to, and the walls came tumbling down. You can even, if you stand up, you can go all the way to the floor. Fall down. All right. When we talk about Gideon, we're going to hold up our torch like Gideon. When we talk about Saul, we're going to hide from the light that blinded him. And then, again, we're going to fight the Battle of Jericho. Then we're going to march up to the walls. We're going to have our spear in this song. And then we're going to blow our ram horns. And then we're going to remember that the battle is in his hand. Okay? So, we're going to sing it. And I want you to do the motions with me. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. You may talk about your men of Gideon, you may talk about your men of Saul, but there's none like good old Joshua in the battle of Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Right up to the walls of Jericho, they marched with spear in hand. Go blow them ram horns, Joshua cried, 'cause the battle is in my hand. Good job! I'm so proud of y'all. I hope that you sing this all week long and you remember that the battle is in his hands, y'all. It is not about us. We belong to the Lord, and our fears, our anxieties, everything, it's in his hands, all right? Now, we have another exciting thing for you. Miss Leeson she has a fun craft, and there's actually 2. So you're gonna get to make a horn, so you can sing that song all week long. But also, she's got a fun little activity with some food for y'all, and I'm just so excited about it. So maybe if you do the craft this morning, and then maybe around lunchtime with your parents, y'all can get out some crackers and peanut butter or Cheese Whiz and build your wall of Jericho. We miss you so much at the Spanish Fort Church of Christ, and we love you all so much. See you next week.
Hey guys. Hey, so your lesson today is about the walls of Jericho. I love this lesson. I love that the lesson today is about numbers. So you've got walking around 7 times. You've got certain things you've got to do. I love that there's a formula that God gave them. And because they followed his formula, those walls just keep tumbling down. I love the songs that go with this. I'm so excited to be a part of your lesson today. We're going to draw the horn first. So I want you to, I have it tall, so I want you to draw 2 lines as straight as you can. It's okay if they're not perfect. There's nothing about me perfect, okay? But I don't want the bottoms of those lines to touch, okay? Then I want you to come out on one of these. This is going to be your flap right here that you're going to glue, okay? Go ahead and attach that, and then attach up here. So here's our horn, and you are going to make the most magnificent patterns on your horn. You can decorate this however you would like. You could put your Bible verse on it. You could do whatever you want on your horn. I want you to put some cool artwork, color it in. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut out your horn. Make sure you leave this little flap right here, okay? That's where you're going to put your glue. You're going to cut out your horn. Okay, you got it all decorated. It looks fantastic. You have colored it. And you have just done this beautiful job of designing your horn. And now you are cutting it out. Congratulations, you've now designed your really cool noisemaker. Parents, you just thank Anna, my sweet sister, for this art project. Because, you know, you need a lot of horns in your life. All right, so go flip it over, and you're going to fold on that little line right there that you had drawn earlier. Oh, attempt. Right, so that's going to be our glue line. So when we created this little flap, so when we put glue on that, our horn has this cone shape, okay? So you're going to put your glue right on your line, okay? And then you're just going to take the other part, you're going to roll it, and then you're going to gently attach it. And it looks like I didn't quite do mine correctly, but because I'm not good at lining things up, but it will work. You just keep that right there and let that glue dry. Okay, so while my glue is drying, I'm gonna put my horn over to the side, let my glue dry. I'm gonna get me a plate. I'm gonna get me some peanut butter, or you can do cheese whiz. And I'm going to build my wall of Jericho, because why would we have a horn if we didn't have a wall? So I want you to think of the peanut butter as the mortar for our stone wall. Okay, now I'm using a paper plate just because, well, why not? And then you get you some Cheez-Its, cheese crackers. And it is going to be your wall. And you're going to set your Cheez-Its into your wall. Good job, guys. Good job. Now, I don't know if this will build a 2-ply wall. Probably not. If we're going to do a 2-ply wall, I probably need to put one more layer back here behind it. All right, build my little wall. I mean, I'm fortifying this wall because weren't the walls of Jericho fortified? Weren't they these amazing builders? And this was an amazing feat. This wasn't some wimpy wall that God had Joshua march around. This wasn't some kind of wimpy wall. No. So you're gonna, so mine's 2-ply, and now I'm putting another coat of peanut butter on top of that. Build my wall up. Now, you've already had Wall Building 101 in drawing. What do you need to make sure? That it's staggered? Good job. Oh, gosh. Y'all paid attention. Good job. So here we are. I have built my wall, and you can keep going if you want. I have my horn now ready and dry. And remember, they marched around 7 times, blowing the horn. Woo! And boom, our wall went tumbling down. Hey guys, great job. Now you get to eat you might need to clean your horn off. Mine got a little dirty. Now you can eat your Wall of Jericho while you have this most magnificent horn that you have created and drawn. And guys, I hope you have a magnificent day. Today it is Easter, and today is a day of celebration of our Savior also saving us. He rose from the grave today. I'm so excited just to share that message with my friends. And I hope y'all had a great time designing your walls and designing your horns. Thanks, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.